Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody grooving? I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty swell. Feeling pretty well. I can't talk very well. I remember we destroyed a tower. That's kind of all I remember. That's literally it. I wish there was more to this than that. I literally can't remember anything else, but I do remember it being kind of cool, and I do remember it being one of the few decisions where I actually felt like I didn't have a confusion on what I was gonna do. So, like a lot of these situations, it'll get to a point where there's a great confusion with what I want to do. It's like, oh, do I do this? Do I do this? There's all, there's problems with both of them, with all of them. But with this one, it kind of felt like it was the obvious option.
All right, then.
Oh, and then we got this lady. No, I want the fast mode on. We got this lady. She's awesome. I already really like her.
Hey.
Right, let's have a look at our abilities here. Talk to the Lady Web. Oh, we should do that today. Travel to Drivewood, not happening. That's maybe happening. What about this one? Travel to Starwood. Sorry to start. Nope. That's the White Marches. I broker a trade agreement. I'd better for it to assist to carry on the orders to do a trade agreement. Yes. Okay, that one's not needed to do. Cave. That one I don't know how I'm gonna do. But we'll figure that one out soon. Let's go talk to Lady Web. Why? Because it's here. It's admission to do here. This is the place that's Lady Webb's, right? Haunted house. Yes, okay. So I think it's upstairs, if I remember correctly. Lady Webb will see you now. You don't look like a lady in this picture. Oh, never mind. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucency with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Fair enough. This is exactly what I would picture a Lord's mother to be like.
Since then, as I understand it, you entered a quarantine district that is absolutely off limits to all civilians and somehow managed to walk back out with your life. What could possibly have been on your mind to make you do such a thing?
I'm investigating a strange group.
Strange does not begin to describe them. The practices of the Leaden Key defy all reason. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, We only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend, which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this.
I
I
refuse to.
thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the leaden key?
I'm just going to be honest with her because I feel like if I lie to her, she will know. I ran across a man in one of the ruins. It's important that I find him again. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker. Then her face goes still and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of the parchment. Her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground. The pages wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back, and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Theos Ix Arcanon,
Great
Grand
name.
Master of the Leaden Key.
Theos
One
Ix
of the most
Arcanon.
elusive and dangerous men Aora has ever known.
What? How do you know I seek Theos?
Because you have seen his face, and that makes it a simple matter for me to see it. You even happened to catch him in his ceremonial garb, it seems. It must have
Oh,
been
she's a
special
cipher.
occasion.
What can you tell me about him?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Theos was the one who created it.
How would he do that?
What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all
Oh,
the knowledge
kind
and
of like a watcher.
experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism.
Isn't Woodica the god of the goddess of death or something?
That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves.
Jesus.
He is not known for his generous supply of pity.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
How do you know so much about him?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Theos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well.
I feel like
His
this cuts off
manipulations of the
badly.
course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
What else is there to know about the Leaden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know, if you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
What do you want from me?
Keep me informed. The leaden key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you.
I was all ready to do that. That's not a bad situation.
Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Theos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well. I have no reason to not trust you.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
There is something I can tell you about them.
Well, let's hear it.
The Ingrithian Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that controls the flow of souls. The leaden key activated it.
This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The leaden key was born in that period. It may be that Theos has full knowledge of their technology. The applications of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it.
I like the voice acting in this, but I will say, and maybe this is just for Lady Webb, it very much feels like, and I know this is how it's been written, but I don't think this is how it would be spoken. She finishes this sentence, and then there's a solid pause, as if it's obviously been cut out, and another track is being put in, and then the same at the end of this. And I understand there's a full stop, and then there's a space, so it's like each of these sentences are their own paragraph. But this is supposed to be seen as a conversation and less of like me physically reading it, which I feel like it should when it's supposed to be a conversation and it's supposed to be voice acted. I feel like the regular people go from sentence to sentence a lot quicker than that. And I know I just had a long pause there, but it's because I was trying to really, really think of how to put it in the right way. Whereas I don't feel like it works that well, I don't know, in a game.
If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
I haven't really met the leader, but he seemed relatively reasonable. I have other questions.
Yes?
Uh, Tell me more about the Duran Row.
All the things there are to know in this world, and you ask me about work. Deerwood is a rebel country. Conflict is in its blood. If you think a few guards posted in our cities keep chaos at bay, you are very new to town indeed. We are Deerwood's cipher investigators, of course. But what we really are is its last barrier against anarchy. People are more at ease when they believe they are watched over by someone more enlightened than they are. It pacifies them. So that is the image we foster. And we do try to be enlightened for their sake. The knowledge we gather here is Deerwood's
I really
standing
like her.
army in many ways. We learn what's vital and we act on it while Deerwood sleeps, blissfully unaware of the terrifying truths all around them. I wish I could tell people the things I know sometimes. But the truth is, I don't think many of them could bear it.
It's little things, I think. It's the fact that between those two sentences, putting like oh, I wish I could tell them, just to fill the space in between there, in between here, I feel like maybe would have made sense, but I'm not a professional voice actor, and I haven't made a game that's probably made millions. How did you come to be here?
Me? I started this place. in a different time, under a different duke. I impressed the Duke with my research and my work ethic, and he became possessed of the notion that I would be ideal to lead a secret network of gifted investigators. I don't know how such an idea got into his head.
Oh, I really like her. I'm not going to ask how old a woman is. That's literally Rule 101. Are you a psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your
I'm
mind.
a cipher.
I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there.
I know, I'm a cipher.
Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
That's all I need to know. Is there a Lord Webb?
There was.
What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
Ah. Farewell.
Try your best not to die out there.
I always do. I mean, I did inform
How
them.
fares your search? Well, you mustn't play.
Cool. So she will give me hints of where to go next, but she didn't give me hints of literally the two places because I couldn't ask her about them. Right. I need to get the map up and have a look at where I need to go next. World map. So, they talked about in the journal, travel to Dryford Village. Now, Dryford Village is right here. There is a gorge right here. This is unrelated to what's happening here. But I also need to go to... Where is this place I need to go with for this? Between the and the Gatharians in Twin Elms. So I need to go to Twin Elms. Elms Reach is there, which makes me wonder if that's where Twin Elms is. That would be my guess. So is the plan to move this way? Catching Dryford on the way? Probably. If that's true, we should try one more shot at this one here. I don't know where these ones are. And I can't do the endless path thing yet.
What?
You can talk yet?
If doubts and curiosity plague.
I don't want to do all those talking options, but I know you have to do them for the whole thing. Let's go through them. Oh! That was a mistake. Never mind. Come back here.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
Okay, let me try again.
Next time I get the chance, I'm buying you a pint. If doubts and curiosity plague you,
Can you tell me about the Hollowborn?
that's a curse that runs deeper. It's a god hammer of a different sort. And like the god hammer, it was made by men's hands.
All things have a price. Left unchecked, faithlessness, virtue, it leaves marks on souls, until souls don't have the strength to enter bodies that are pure. Animancers, ciphers, All who play games with the fabric of souls are to blame for the barren fields they leave behind. Bullshit. Ciphers are more prominent in other countries and it's perfectly fine. Even watchers can do the same. Some simply watch, others try to weave souls, guide them as surely as Wadewind across Evan do. This is why I correct the Hollowborn when I find them, and the ones whose hands have led to the seed being spilled on the ground. Correct?
There are fewer souls. There are more vessels. It is simply equaling of the process.
So it doesn't bother you to end them?
I feel more remorse in putting down a slathering hound. A wict? Less than a mongrel in its misery. Murder is a kindness, not a crime. Always has been. I would sooner put the blade to those who are to blame instead. If any spirits should be punished, it's theirs.
And who's to blame? The field of dyewood are filled with weakness, right for those that play with souls and minds. Animancers and their kind, watchers too, they bear more of the burden than their victims, and more of the punishment. Every year has seen a new crime, the Saints' War, the Hollowborn, and the Salvation. There is no proof watchers are to blame for these events. There are few who can shape souls in such a fashion, and any true watcher born in Dyewood, would be able to see the crime even if they did not cause it, silence itself as damning. Why don't you end me then?
Murder you? I would not grant you any of them. The mercy I grant the Hollowborn. You would not be deserving of it.
You'd equate murder with mercy?
Murder is an old word. Mercy is letting a soul fly free to the next body. True punishment? Ruining someone to their soul. Crack their spirit like you would crack their skulls with a staff. Beat them. Hurt them in mind and body. So their souls become shards. But you leave it inside the vessel. Like a bag of...
I don't think I like him
Give
after
it
talking to him.
or pass it through their bloody stool. Then, leave it in the body to think on it, like planting a new field with the right seed.
That sounds like you've committed it to memory.
Many marks may I make upon your flesh, but flame leaves marks that cannot heal. Magrin doctrine dictates true punishment is one that remains in memory, in the soul, in the flesh. Even should the victims die, slowly or swift, sometimes by their own hand afterwards, the lesson lingers, burned in their flesh.
Nah, there's a certain justice in that.
Have you seen a man branded by flame? He remembers it always, in every waking movement. It is a lesson writ in the only ink and vellum that matters, blood and flesh. One can burn the soul as well. It is an art, and I do not take pleasure in it. But there is more at stake here than forgiveness. Many of Aethys's faith were punished in the purges following the Saints' War. And the ones that harmed children, they suffered worse.
Okay, you bring me back. You're bringing me back. I just don't agree with your methodology of who's to blame here. What do you mean?
We did what must be done. Wherever they were rooted out, their souls reclaimed. And if they couldn't be reclaimed, we ensured they would never inhabit another body.
I wanted to ask about the religion and its history. Do you think there's any tie between the Hollowborn and the Godhammer?
Aethys was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on the deer wood. I've heard some claim it's his doing, his death. It's closed the halls to new souls. I doubt it. The Hollowborn have their roots in the acts of men, women. I feel it.
I genuinely think that he's got a half-truth there. He thinks it's on the Animancers and the Watchers and the Ciphers. I think this is a ploy by um Theos or whatever the leader is. This is his thing that he's doing. He's collecting the souls so that they don't go back into the cycle in this local area. With, I assume, the plans to do it in the future area, to use it for whatever they were storing the souls in the tower for. Do you know anything about the Dyewood and the surrounding nations? Dyewood's the best of them. Still has spirit. If a land can have one, it's a place where a man can walk freely, even make new roads, and that's a rare thing in this world. Its generations, however, are damned, so no new footfall may spell an end to it. You mean the Hollowborn? Yes. Aethys' last stab at revenge after he was ended. Aethys was the god of rebirth, and his light does not fall on Dyewood. I've heard some claims this is doing his death. It's closed the halls to new souls. I don't believe it. The problem is closer than that, and as always it involves women and men, as they are always circling within and without. The Valen Republic, red cars, the Saints' War, one big bladed spiral, shredding everything around it. How do you feel about the Valen Republics? Fortune seekers, garbed in robes of office, manipulators, traders, and traitors, all of them. I'm from the Republic. Is that a problem? Couldn't stand to remain there. Don't blame you. You look more humble than most. Any country so obsessed with style might as well be wearing scarves over their eyes. You think the Republics mean the Dyewood harm? The Dyewood had best be vigilant, or they'll turn them into slaves as soon as the ink dries on the trade treaty. The Dyewood and all its internal riches is too tempting, especially if someone else tames the country and the face painters for them. Face painters? Tribes, Glenfarthens, clustered around the ruins like flies. What about the Reekras? Reekras? Too many adjectives to that so-called nation. Civil unrest, economic collapse, all tinder, just needing the right spark. Some farmer shows up, takes a god into himself, and then takes a crown on his head. This divine kingdom he tries to set up goes about as well as you'd expect. Suddenly the population of heretics goes up by about half and again, and Aethys starts turning his blood-stained gaze to every blasphemer he could find. Cleaning house is one way to put it. Purge is another. Put them and their god in their place, though, with enough force to kill that damned country too. Not a supporter of the country, then? Surely you know where this is going by now. It's not a country, it's a gathering of cowards. Adar's puppets. They used to be an optimistic bunch, a bright bunch. Was their undoing, should have embraced their misery without letting a farmer lead them to a brighter ruin. Almost Aethys' puppets, too, put an end to that. They dangled on his strings, Waduin dangled on theirs. They never would have had any success on the battlefield had not their god come down. The Saints' War needed to call on their own god to have a chance. Tell me about the Saints' War. Keep forgetting your feet are new to Dyewood. The Saints' War.
It wasn't a war. It was a god stepping past himself. The country of Raed Saris and all their heathens. They're paying for it now. Although by my count, the fire should have roared through their country with more force, catching all their souls. Truth, it wasn't even a war. It was a cautionary tale about pride. Specifically, Widewind's pride. He should have stayed a farmer.
What happened? What 15, 16 years ago? 2807? My memories of are back with a younger me. I don't hold on to dates, I hold on to actions and causes. The war was an act of arrogance, born straight from the Reekera's twitching legs. A man thinking himself more than a man. Want to kill someone? Tell him a god speaks through him. Then tell him he means him to lead, which put him at the front of any army, and the army was as strong as you'd expect for Reekers, as sick as the country was to begin with, yet a war was likely just what they needed. What was wrong with with the country? The Reekers have its share of problems. It deserves all of them. It deserved Waydwin. He was the light that led them to flame. Reekers were in decline, Ada's poison always eating its veins, economic bleeding, the dying of their faith. Then Waydwin, this farmer, claims to take up Eothis in the flesh and gave them the worst kind of hope. What happened then? They crown him. They make him king. The worst kind of blasphemy. And once he wears the crown on his head and the god in his flesh, why, he starts making changes. Divine changes. Then he decides he's going to change us. Save us. How? He marches on Dyewood to free us from our beliefs, like he freed the other souls. Coldmorn offers up its belly with no resistance, and it's spared. The bloodshed starts with his when he sacks Mercy Vale. A touch of irony that. Put it to flames. Coldmorn? Cowards. And Coldmorn is an apt name for them. They lay still, frozen, while their fellows burned. They'll pay Margaren's price one day for such cowardice. What did Aethys do next? Aethys kept marching. Dyewood takes to the trees, cutting at its flanks, his scouts, his troops. It seemed near hopeless, until Holgut's citadel, the Godhammer. There we put him to flame, burn the god out of him. If there was ever was one to begin with, dozens of brave men and women take to the bridge, make a stand, then we torch him there with the fires of the Godhammer. What is the Godhammer?
Gods have taken flesh, in all respects, taking willing and unwilling vessels. It's not a violation, it's what gods do, as long as they accept all that comes with it. Men are weak. Gods? Well, we showed old Waydwin that he was flesh and blood, no matter
Waydwin,
how
I
much
gotta get
light
that.
was pouring out of his farmer's hands. Took men of faith to build a weapon, a Godhammer. Judgment. Proved him dead at Halgot Citadel.
It was a weapon of Dyewood's people, their independence. There are few that would deny Eothis overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Eothis of this. A fire and force so terrifying, so bright it burned a god away. Durant holds his staff and his hands lock around it, tracing the etchings. As you watch, the tip of the staff blossoms, burns brightly, and Durant speaks, his face illuminated in the fire. A weapon that would burn brighter than Eothis, and we led him to it and burned him at the stake. The stake was the Godhammer, and we impaled him on it. Who fashioned it? Wait. Who fashioned it? The nation did, yes, with its faithful. We weren't going to stand for any more. We didn't need a pretender in a vessel. We primed another vessel and let it fly. It took only taunts by men, and that was enough to lure him across the bridge and right into the new sun. It let the people see how bright their arrogance had become, and became a symbol by which we answered their purge with one of our own. Purges?
We started saving the Eothasians from themselves, burning any that didn't die with their god. Heresy in Raed Ceres is one thing.
Raed Ceres.
Heresy here in the Deerwood comes with a more personal touch.
So you just answered their crime with one of your own?
As I see it, every Eothasian who still lives in the Deerwood puts the nation at risk, is another dagger held to the throat of our faith. Root them out, burn them, or send them back to Raed Ceres to wallow in the blood of their failure.
But it didn't sound like you gave them the third option of leaving. You were servant a whale that the mysteries and questions remain with him, at least until the next time we need rest.
Hey, that means a lot, Adair. Oh, do you want one too? Sorry, I meant for Isselmere. I'll get you one too.
Jesus, that's a bit mean. I understand you like her, but still. If given the option of separating them, even if it kills the other one, I am separating them and keeping the guy aloth. Because why? This person's already had a life. They've lived that life. It may have been ended prematurely. We don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's time for him to have a life that isn't burdened with an alternative personality. Who, admittedly, I do obviously know is. Oh, 1 second. I'm just trying to remember this. Is obviously has actually helped him in his early days, standing up to his father and all that. Okay, I'm coming through. Hello,
Well
you.
met, friend.
Let's talk about that blimmin' medallion. I'm really sorry for it. I'll buy it from you. Can I pay that? I think I can. Sorel goggles at the bag of coin in her hand. She looks back at you for just a second before reaching into her bodica. She holds a carved Ada medallion by a cord and gives it to you. She cradles the bag of coppers. I could be in the cottage in Brackenbury tomorrow. She looks hopefully at the medallion in your hand. I'm not going to tell you your business, but if you do mean to give that to Thirstwin, it would mean a lot to me, too. I hope he finds everything he was looking for back home. She pulls a moonstone ring off her finger. Please take this. It was always giving me an edge with people around me, but I'm done with that part of my life. Farewell. Wait, what's the ring? I did... Resolve. Who do we want to give resolve to? You can have resolve. Yes, I just spent a lot of money just to get that quest done. Do I think it was the right decision? Obviously not. That money should have gone into my fortress, obviously. But I'm not good. Look, we're not going to think about it. Oh.
So those feathers, that's a blessing of Helia?
So they say.
That's lucky. Where I'm from, we see a feathered lady, we start worrying maybe her dad got frisky with his hens.
I guess you can always trust a farm boy's head to go there first.
Should I take that as an attack on him? By the way, do you know if this game has that whole thing where certain merchants will give you more for stuff than other merchants? Because I want to sell a lot of my stuff to get a bit more of a saving back, but I'm worried that if I sell everything to an innkeeper and it's a bunch of swords, he's going to be paying like one copper for them. Because why would he care about swords? He's an innkeeper. When actuality, I want to be selling them to a blacksmith who will pay like an actual amount of money.
Good day, stranger.
Yes, here is your medallion. Thirstwind's eyes are wide and round as the artifact is in his hands. You've given me my people. You've given my people a gift we couldn't possibly repay. I'll do the best I can, though. This is everything I have. Take it, please. Keep it. Your clan could use it to rebuild. The shattering spear will sing of your kindness for generations to come. If you ever find yourself in Glanfeth, please honour us with a visit. Farewell. I should have taken the money. I really should have taken the money. I don't know why I need money. I don't know why I keep trying to be benevolent. But I like being nice. Being...
How is it you Eothasians stay so optimistic? The world has not given your kind much reason to hope.
I want to listen to
Get
this.
to a certain point, you realize you got two options. You can go mad with grief and tear out all your hair and check yourself into the sanitarium, or you can wait for better days.
Well, feathers in my case. But I understand your point.
I'm glad she does. Yeah, we did that. How are we looking on this? We still have enough money to do these things. Okay, cool. Every transgression must come with a lesson. Yesterday you thought sorrow. What will you do tomorrow? Sorry, I just have this Has Been Hotel song stuck in my head. We did all of this. I don't know why I came back here. No, I do know why I came back here. I was hoping it was where the deer would take me. Let's see what happens when we go up here. Yesterday you thought sorrow. What will you do tomorrow? Nope. Okay, so it's probably from here. Which is perfect, because I actually needed to check here to see if I completely cleared this area. I never did anything in this gorge. Oh, perfect. I guess I just unlocked the ability to go here, but then I didn't do anything here? Doesn't sound like me. What is this? This is a... What? What are these? I don't like them.
Hey.
I'm ready.
Hey.
What are you doing?
That's not very helpful.
I'm ready.
You can't run. It didn't allow me to run through that.
That's not very helpful.
Why have I lost so much health? This
Not
is...
my best moment.
How do I get rid of this? That was horrendous. The maggots.
Hey.
What is this? Obviously there's something over here. The starlight illuminates a pattern on the ground. You kneel to get a better look. The stone here has been carved with a few simple shapes. A simple circular indentation marks the centre, and a much larger circle surrounds it. You see what appears to be writing above the two circles. The indentation is shallow and smooth. It looked like it was intended to hold something specific. Several shapes have been carved along the outer ring. Though most have been worn away, you can make out a crescent above the centre. The curving, twisting runes are strangely familiar to you. You recognise them as ancient Ingwithian. They read, "All things end, only to continue anew. Enter now at dusk, then we may all experience a new dawn." Right, so you're supposed to go in there at dusk. Cool. I hate whatever they did with that maggot attack. Yesterday you see sorrow. Let's see what else. Just a guy? Hello. Chewing on a piece of uncooked meat, a small Orlan dressed in tattered leathers offers a mumbled greeting and waves his hands. Despite his pleasant smile, the upper right portion of his face is in a sorry state, An eye patch stitched with a stylized eyeball wraps around his head, and his ear is a mangled remnant that twitches in spasms while the other ear perks up at your approach. Next to him is the splayed carcass of a deer that appears to have been ripped open by a bear or wolf. You hear the gurgling rumble next to you. Thagan places her hand on her stomach, her eyes on the carcass. Still fresh. Etunmuk's pink tongue rolls out of his mouth.
If this is your deer, you need a new game warden. Name's Heravius. Hungry? I can't eat all this. First catch of the day, help yourself.
What killed that deer?
One ornery Stelgar. Though looking at the deer's insides, it had a malformed but delicious heart, and would have been dead within the year regardless. Galloway chose a fitting end for this fine animal. Pardon me, I shouldn't pray with my mouth full.
What brings you here?
Other than the delicious venison, new trees to document, new animals to sketch, new sights to be seen. I've learned as much as I can from the druids of my circle. I'd rather wander and learn than take root and stagnate. So if you're traveling the Deerwood and need another set of hands, I'd welcome the safety of a group.
A druid's assistant would be welcome.
I'm trained by the celebrants of Hawk and Ivy of the Fisher Crane tribe. I know more than my share of nature magic, and, well, I don't shy away from a good fight. I have business with the druids that live near Twin Elms. So long as we find ourselves there eventually, I'm happy to follow along.
You're welcome to join us.
Splendid! It'll be an honor to run with the pack for a change.
Do I want him actually on the group? Kind of. I don't really understand. I probably should keep a healer, right? No, druids heal. I think. Druids heal, right?
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
Okay, druid, let's see what your deal is. You have a spear. You seem to be a backliner of some kind. Your spear is just a fine spear. Does that mean you want to go to the front? He just turns into a Stilligan. Do you have healing? No. Okay, we'll try you out. Can hide from inside. I'm kind of scared about the fact that I don't think I did particularly well against just the basic enemy that was hiding outside of this ruin. This feels like a if I get here at dawn, something happens kind of deal. But I will just do a quick explore of this area first. Just to see, A, if there's any enemies that need to be killed. Lioness. Doesn't need to be killed. Okay.
Hey. Yes?
Mm-hmm. Ready, Watcher. I'm ready.
Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Little kid, go in there. You.
Need something?
Yeah, sure, go in there. Wait, is this one per encounter? Yeah. You're gonna turn into a... Go in there.
Blood make
Right, now that all of you in there,
the grass grow.
and then we move to you,
Hey,
who will knock this lioness down.
I'm ready. Ready, Watcher.
And we'll move to you, who will shoot... No, you will shoot this person. What? I thought we were fighting lionesses. What was that? Hiravius. That is Hiravius.
hey.
Yeah?
I need you. I need the pathing to get better in this game.
Hey.
I do love that he becomes a hyena person? Question mark? Bring it on. Was one of them not a lion? This kind of feels like what they were implying there. Won't know though, time will tell. Let's kill some lions that pissed me off before. Feral druid. Where? Oh. Oh, damn. I think I remember these. I think I remember these because they were scary.
Hey.
I'm ready. Ready, Watcher.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Hey there.
Not you. You. Use your super spell. Right now. And while you're doing that, you hit this person with an attack. You use your ability on it.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to do your leaping attack. Cool.
I'm ready.
Of course you're ready. How's this fight going? It's
Ready,
going
Watcher.
better.
Yeah?
How's this fight going? Relatively okay. Okay, how are we looking here? Wait, whose weapon is ineffective? Yours is. Why did it say that? Yeah, they're ineffective. Okay, get in there. I mean, that might have actually been the worst situation I could have done. The dog died!
Hey, hey.
I'm ready.
Split up. Stop shooting me with lightning! Oh, I'm sure it'll be so bad when I'm actually against enemies that care and do damage.
Hey there.
Which one of these people looks like they're near? Oh, both of them look like they'll be fine, but if he isn't, we ignite his soul.
I'm fine. Worth it.
Whoop. Everyone on them.
I'm ready.
Freros, Ceres.
Jesus, that fight was scary. I remember them because I got bodied by them before. And generally, I think I kind of got bodied by them again. If we're being brutally honest.
Hey.
Luckily, I just had the raw stats to deal with them this time around. They didn't need to attack me. I wasn't innately hostile to them. Like, surely this I need some sort of gem. That's what they're saying. I need a gem. Like something to slot in the place, and then it's dawn, and then I... Right? I'm not overthinking this, right? No, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? We need to be going from above. Because the place we want to go is right here. What? Okay, let's go right. There it is. Okay. Make our way there. Might want to rest in an inn in this village if we're able to. Trolls and oozes will attack in 3 days. Okay. We have a palace messenger? Okay. How long do we gotta need to stand out here? What's this about? An elf idles by the road, watching the village across the river. He nods at you as you approach, and the cow figure stands near him.
Gods keep you.
Greetings, friend. I've heard of you. Word has it you've been busy in Defiance Bay. I'm busy too, and eager to finish my business and get back to the city. What business is that? Haven't you heard? There's a murder on the loose. Said to have gone mad with grief and strangled a dozen healthy children when her own was hollowborn. We've come all the way from Defiance Bay to bring her to justice. God, she can't be allowed to go free. He nods at you. She's hiding out in the village. We need to get in after her otherwise ourselves, but the problem is she knows our faces. There's no telling what she'll do if she saw us coming, and we like to avoid any further unnecessary bloodshed. Her name is Knifefree. She's an all. We want to get her out of town so that we can deal with her cleanly. She knows we're looking for her, but if someone with a silver tongue like yours were to convince her that it's safe to leave... If she's a mass murderer, why doesn't the Duck send the Crucible Knights after her? The powers that be want to keep things quiet for obvious reasons. Better not to cause a fuss, and certainly better not to startle her into doing something drastic. I could draw her out. She won't know you. It'll be simple. It'll be simple. I have a few questions for you. Remind me, what did she do again? She was responsible for the murder of all the babies in Defiance Bay, remember? Terrible thing. We'll make her pay, alright. Let's get back on the search. Jesus, he's a bit... Everything apart from that, every part of that made me think, well, yeah, he's in the right. He's just trying to stop a murderer. But the way he acts... God damn, is it going to putting me off caring? All of you are definitely people that have paid to be in there. Your names are too similar. Yep, thought so. And you're off in the middle of nowhere? That's proper, I'm an NPC that paid to be in here. Feel. Temple... Oh, a temple. Let's have a look in this temple. Are we allowed in here? Oh no, we don't have a priest with us anymore. Hello, good sir.
You. I already told you what... I'm sorry. I thought you were one of those ruffians.
Oh god, he's battered and bruised. The times we live in.
How may I help you?
What happened to you?
I never saw their faces. Strange, hooded men asking about those ruins. Cleoban Relag. Most of the brigands who come through here asking about the ruins are looking for a few ancient trinkets. But these people knew the name, and they were in a hurry. They wanted to know where Cleoban Relag was. I tried to keep it from them, but I couldn't hold out forever. I don't know what they were up to, but it can't be good.
That does sound like the leaden key, doesn't it? Is there something else I can help you with? Can you tell me where to find the ruins?
The Glanfathan tribe that guards the ruins will kill anyone who trespasses there. And they'll retaliate against us, too, if history is any indication. We've had too many fortune seekers stir up trouble of late. If I'm to tell you, I'll need to know your reason for wanting to go.
He folds his arms and stares at you with one eye and a scowl. So this is where I say, go into the ruins and I'll kill you. And that's when you say, Evantus, I'm a watcher and you're no match for all of us, and we've got a good reason for this. And then I give up trying to argue with you and leave you to dig your own trespasser's grave. And I'm only being half metaphorical. We sometimes make Daiwoodians dig your own grave before we kill you. When the kids hear about it, it's fabulous deterrent. A dangerous plot is unfolding there. I've got to stop it.
If that's the case, then we may already have trouble headed our way. I'll have to take you at your word. You'll find Cleoban Relag here. Whatever trouble you find there, please end it quietly and try to stay out of the ruins.
Tell me about the Direford. Deerford. Folks here tend to keep to themselves, as they do in most towns this deep into the Deerwood. They're suspicious of travellers, but with all the brigadins, I can't say that word, and refugees moving through the area, who can blame them? This is a temple of Berith? What can you tell me about Berith? Berith is the most universal of all the gods. It oversees portals and cycles of all kinds, even life and death itself. Never mind, I thought that was Wodika. Under Berith, an ending is merely a passage to another beginning. Berith has many representatives around time and across culture. Around the Deerwood, you commonly see it depicted as the Pallid Knight or the Usher. The Glanfathans, however, know it as Benwyn I Akui and Akui I Benwynin. Tell me about the Pallid Knight. She's one of the youngest manifestations of Berith, but a familiar one nonetheless. Stories describe her as a gaunt knight in black armor with black eyes and black hair and a milk-pale skin. She demands an impossible toll from travelers who have tarried too long on her lord's road. Some challenge her, only to slay themselves in the process. Who is the Usher? Kith have written stories and songs and poems about the Usher for centuries. Sometimes he's folk, sometimes dwarf, sometimes merely a walking skeleton. He never talks, but he guides the way to death and the next life. He also creates the circumstances for the wayward to stumble into their own graves. I haven't heard the Bewinen I Anku and the Anku I Bewinen. It means life and death and life, respectively. You see them as two skeletal figures, one male and one female. Explorers have found them carved one opposite one another in doorways, but I know of no particular legend that speak of them. Thank you. Farewell. What about this guy? Cool. You won't know though time would tell.
Before I knew it, the Stelgar was on top of me, and I was face down in the dirt.
Arrow to the throat. That stops him.
What? No! I was spirit shifted, and she was in heat, so I aimed for the throat, but not with an arrow.
Boo! I don't like that. Yeah, sure, what's up?
Hail and well met.
The god sighs with relief as he looks at you. What are the odds? Stuck in this backwater only to meet the famed champion of Defiance Bay? Bereth's wheel bring mercy today indeed. Perhaps you could help. I don't suppose you saw a young elven noblewoman on the road. I'm stuck in this wretch's place with the rest of us, of my unit, until we find her. I haven't seen anyone like that. Same as everyone else in this blazing village. Perhaps she could speak with the Lord Harond at the inn anyway. He'll be grateful for the assistance, and it could be the local open up you about the daughter's disappearance more than they have to us. But I didn't finish talking to you. Imagine if I walk into this house and it's just the lady that's evil is right here. Let's save. Villager. Villager. Oh. You didn't see anything? I didn't steal anything. I just had a look at the mill. That's all. That's all. I just wanted to see how it worked. Is this the inn? Yeah, that's the inn. Okay, well, that's going to be the last place I go look in then. Have you been to the Defiance Bay? I've heard there's no Hollowborn there. That's not true. Surely that's not true. Damn the rest of the gods too. That's not a good thing to be saying, especially when I have a priest with me, and this place has already been god cursed. Grieving Mother is a notable location thing here. Oh, Arms and Armory. Look, I know there's a Grieving Mother there, but look, I need to sell my stuff, and these little villages always have great stuff in them.
Greetings.
A portly, smiling man stands behind a warped wooden counter, polishing a buckler. He looks up. Haven't seen you before. Always glad to see a new face in town. Company's good for business and chatter's good for the soul. That's what I always say. What's been going on in Deerfoot? Oh, we're a quiet little town. Not much happening here, specifically not since the legacy hit. People realised they couldn't have babies and just stopped trying altogether. And that takes a lot of the excitement out of the day-to-day, if you can believe it. See, I thought that would increase the amount of babies people would have. knowing that there's absolutely no way that it's going to come back to bite them. We'll keep the fine weaponry. Okay. No, I said I'd keep the fine weaponry. You know what? We don't need his grimoires either. I hope he'll take all of this. Okay, that one can go. I can't be bothered to scroll down to actually get rid of it. Done. 6,000 to me? Don't mind if I do. Anything? Have you got anything good here? Grudge Keeper. Speed average, unique rod 200. Fine vicious. What does vicious mean? Fine is the accuracy. Against prone. No, I don't know people prone that much. A great sword with overbearing and accurate 3. What is overbearing? I know what accurate is. Crit multiplier. Crits can inflict prone. Okay. Tall grass. It's a pike. That's a spear. Oh, we have someone that kind of likes using a spear. Maybe? Maybe buy that spear? Let's buy that spear. Zealous command bonus. Chanter area of effect. Useless for me. You can take 2 torches. I'm not going to sell these cats. Who would sell a cat? Who in their right mind would do that? You can have these hides, though. You can have them more lockpicks. You can have this shattered armor. And these traps that I'll never use. And then the party. We don't need these. We don't need these. I never use any of the traps, so there's no real reason to keep them. I don't need all of this drink. And we don't need this robe. Minor recovery. We definitely don't need the robe. We need that. We don't need these. Don't need this book. Anything here that I care about? I probably should keep some of this. Thank you. Hey, you got a new spear, boy. Use the spear and use it well. Well, thanks for talking to me. Who's this guy? Oh, he's a person that wanted to be a blacksmith. That's kind of cool.
Right fetching feathers, lass.
Repeat, please, in Adiran. And stand closer so I can grab your neck if you said what I think you did.
That was Isilmir. She likes your feathers.
Thanks, but I'm not interested, Isilmir.
Oh. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in brown leather cloth draped down to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy colourless vegetables into a pile before her, stripping the heads of the long fibrous stems with a parting knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small casket-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not sure she even knows you're here. Excuse me? The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no indication she heard you. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman, unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seem more focused on weaving in her lap than her surroundings, yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer. She's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from the lack of washing. Like many of the townsfolk you've seen, there's a strange blur to her. Even the motion of her hands seems to be playing with threads that lack colour, in a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch, her knitting takes an odd cadence. You have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are you're showing you. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the stream of her locks downwards, the hair becomes long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver, wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with the threads, braiding a net in front of you, each finger long and sharp like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together with the silver predominantly as a highlight, the black shadowing it. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table, lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest, hazy with mist, although whether it is actual mist or distance or a recollection, resting in the curve of the natural arc above you is the great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging its attention if looking down on you and the event unfolding before you. The plateau has soaked in the sun, and the rocks beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied, but you feel your body, your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. And you hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains colour and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts like mist, rolling softly into a sealed chamber, and the chimes coax you deeper into the memory, and you are certain this is a memory, a warm one. You are on the shore of the plateau, your knees in the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Ada. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving, not thread, but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Beveth's wheel. Your hands are wet, your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head turning in your grip, its hands slick wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing, inhabiting, have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel the distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a series of fluid from the womb, helping the newborn slide forward, and a woman's laboured breath crying out. Focus on the child, the movement of your hands. As your hands move, you hear the sounds of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort. Of that you are certain. And coaxed by your hands, every movement causes the chimes to sound again, almost eagerly. The child comes forward, and so as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You are holding a small child, still wet from the womb, before you. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thoughts, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing the soul from within a soul. But it is there, it is alive. The one before you is weeping, and her first cry, her hands reach out for it. Surrender the child. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before. And as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from the cord of your wrists. And when once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first gentle greeting into the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The experience. The woman laughs with ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, and the physical demand of labour has left her exhausted. But the child is here. The child is safe, and all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. Slowly pull back from retreat from the memory. With effort, the scene bleeds of colour, and your mind becomes your own again. There is no pull, no anchor, yet the sound of the chimes remains as they exist in the memory. They sound here as well, and they are hanging from woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of the chimes on her wrist is sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like what you first saw. She is wearing black, shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. And as she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. What you first saw of her was a mental glamour of some sort, unconscious, and you realize what you saw is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad to be at last seen. Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
This is Bereth, right? There is a light touch on your mind, a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch, reaching up to the air between you. You hear the chime of her wrists softly, her hands moving as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm. The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
I encountered a bivouac, yes, and it did something to me. Her hands withdraw shyly, the chimes sounding softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly, as if she has been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt, yet while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It is almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her. The image on the plateau, yet the image was so clear, so sharp. You're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift.
It felt like a pathway between our minds, but strange, gentle.
So many questions, thoughts whirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. I cannot tell if it is carving new channels or eroding what keeps your true strength buried. The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done.
By the way, I'm sorry about the
Grows
fireworks.
stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
There is a silence, and although it seems to last for but a heartbeat, in your thoughts it stretches out between the two of you, like a pull between your minds. You blink, take a breath, and then you realize she wants to ask you a question, yet she can't form the words, as if assembling them is painful, or they simply are not enough pieces. Do you wish to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear, gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates and you feel the strength and certainty, as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you and a calm sky looks down upon you. She's awesome. I want her in my... I know I just bought you a spear, but she seems awesome. I
Watch your step.
want grieving mother in my group. Yes, there is a beta, and I did consider waiting for the full release of that turn-based. It is my first time through, but I did see that there was a beta on it, and I do think I would probably have more fun with the combat if it was turn-based. I was just too hyped to play this, so I decided to play it before it got the turn-based update, because I think the official release is more likely to be next year. Um, I do really like this game. I think the story is very, very good. I think my ability to play the real-time combat is not great. I'm not the best at it. And I'm also not the best at figuring out what each of the party are supposed to do. A lot of people will tell you that they can be anything they want, but the problem with saying that is it doesn't tell you. The problem with them saying, "Hey, you can be whatever you want in this," is it doesn't give you any help in a direction. I mean, she's wearing light armor, so I'll just give her the best light armor I have. But yeah, I know that the second one. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I love D&D. I love Baldur's Gate 3. That was such a good game. I agree with you. I do prefer turn-based as well. I don't find the appeal of real time. I can't think on the spot, and that's the reason why I have so many pauses in this game. But I wanted to play this, and I wanted to play the second one as well. But I wanted to go into the second one knowing everything from the first one, because I know that at least you're playing the same character. Even though they do a bit of a reset, I know they keep the same character. And so my logic was, I'll get through this, I'll play it on the easier difficulties so that I don't have to... I can make mistakes a lot more. And then when I get to the second game that has a turn-based mode in it integrated, at that point it'll be fine. Yeah. That's the reason why I didn't want to miss this. Also, just me personally, I prefer the medieval European style fantasy more than the pirate fantasy that the second one has. So I did want to give this one a shot. Okay, you've got similar abilities to me, but you start with 32. Jesus.
Hey.
Your thoughts must flow deep. Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
You addressed me as a watcher when we met. Do you know what a watcher is? There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she's going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen.
The title came unbidden. I do not know why I spoke of it. Yet it seemed the right mantle, a familiar one.
Yet I do not know from where it came. If I have given offence... Oddly enough, it feels like she's not speaking to you. It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill which persists for a short moment, then fades into a dull fear. If I've given offence, forgive me. You would know more than I. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous and Pathfinder, the one before it, Kingmaker, are both games that I keep going back to, and I never can finish them. I always hit a spot where the game becomes too much of a problem for me. The monsters become too strong for me. This is even on the easier difficulties. I mean, this is spoilers for anyone else who... there's probably no one else listening, but anybody else who's planning on playing those games. The Demon City, I hate the Demon City. I hate everything about the Demon City concept. I hate the moving of the map moves the city. I hate the enemies in there. I don't like that part of the game. That city, remove it and I'd be perfectly fine. It's almost always that point is the point where the enemies become to the point where I have to start buffing before fights, and I just can't get into the hand of the idea of doing that. The enemies become too powerful. They have like 8 attacks, and only one of my dudes can hit them, and they have to crit to hit. It's a personal thing. I know that I'm supposed to be stacking buffs before I go into combat, and I just can't get into the handle of it. You see, I didn't mind the army building part because I liked old style Might and Magic games that are very similar to what they're doing. Ember's great. Ember's great. I love Ember. The idea of Ember made me want to make a character like that, but I just don't think I could play it in like a D&D setting. I just don't think I have the ability to play that kind of character. The genuinely like innocent, good person. Ember was cool. I really liked Ember. You encountered the Watchers before. I don't know, it's an odd feeling. I do not know where it stems from. It was a word that arose when you saw me. It is said that Watchers see much that others do not, and I have been hidden from the eyes of others for some time. How is it that no one sees you?
Their eyes see me, but their minds will not remember past the call.
A core?
My face is like the call of a newborn, hiding the face beneath. And for my body, I am able to wrap myself as a mother cradling her child. I am here, as you see.
You have the ability to
To
mentally...
them, their eyes see only the cloak.
Terms of hours? Ooh, good question.
Not worth knowing.
Let me just alt-tab. Oh, it doesn't say. Maybe it says... Hold on a second. I'll see if it says on my save.
As a watcher, you see more than others. To the eyes of most, I am as unseen as the spirits you share memories with.
How are you able to affect minds? I divert the flow of their senses down a different direction to a place easily forgotten. It is not unwelcome when one does not desire the presence of others. The surface of their mind registers a figure, but the memory slips away. They see a woman, but not their desire for conversation. Let's continue our journey for now. Okay, let me have a look at my saves. I have played... Well, that just says how much... Oh, I played 21 hours of this game.
Hey.
I guess I could have just divided my streams by 2 hours, because I mainly just play for 2 hours. Apothecary. How far... I've been trying to do all the side quests, and I'm trying to make it so that the map... Because they have a thing where if you go into an area, the map is blank except for the bits you've explored. And I try and explore it, all of it. I would say I'm not exploring everything like you're saying that you do and talking to everybody, but I feel like I'm doing about 90% of it. And in terms of main missions, like if we look at the world, I did this area that's the sort of the main hub area for the first bit. And then this is the second hub of the second bit. And I've just sort of finished all the quests that are related to just that area. That don't require me to leave that area to the outer regions.
Good day to you.
A young woman leans against a wagon. One arm and one side of her face are covered in bandages with raw ripped flesh showing underneath. A minty tangy scent wafts from her dressing. She smiles playfully. Just ventured into town. I'm about to dry on some of my docks, but you're welcome to have a look-see. Show me your wares. Sure thing. I don't know why I'm looking at her wares. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna
Hey.
buy anything.
Oh, the smell around here reminds me of this stable hand, Drutman. Not real popular with the women, Drutman.
Okay, let's have a look in here. I went in the mill, but I didn't go in here. Sorry about this later. Get back to the dyes. I'll take care of the customers. Okay. Ooh, another quest.
Welcome.
A sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands on his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vats, and his arms are stained with dye. You're looking to purchase some leather? What's in the collapsed tower? Kids collapsed, nothing. A few hides and stretching racks and the tallow stench Dengler's always grumbling about. The rest of the keep's dust. Just like the fool lady they knew who tried to hold it. There's a bard at the inn who tells you the whole blazing story if you wish to hear it. Something else you need? You seen an all-in around here? Fair enough. Ooh, I could get some exceptional hide armor for this lady. I don't want to spend 3,000 on this lady. I think there's like a non-small chance that we don't actually have to deal with her in a bit. So yeah, I'd say I've played 21 hours and I've played about... I'm
Do you
doing like
still have time to
90% of
defend
the
deal,
exploration.
Peter?
No, not these days. Parents left the country years back during the purges. I think about him a lot.
So this area, 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 and all of this area, and this area, and this area, and this area are completely explored for stuff I can do at the moment. There is something here that's relating to a gem that I have to get, so I haven't done that yet. And technically there's like an endless dungeon in here that I haven't done, but everything else I've done.
It's a shame you and your family suffered, even after the Saints' War ended. You dear Woodens certainly have a knack for holding on to old grudges.
I say the story is also pretty good. I think what I do appreciate about this story is that every part of it, the decisions, you're not like a generic hero that just succeeds all the time. There's always consequences. There's sometimes missions that don't have a good ending, quote unquote. Yeah, I think my only complaint, quote unquote, is that I prefer turn-based. And that's not really a complaint. It's just a preference, right? I've heard the game is great. I love the fort system as just being able to upgrade my fort. Yeah, well, it's not a complaint, really. And the second game even solves that, and they're planning on solving this. So, you know... Just a random guy that I can't steal from. But yeah, it is a great game. It is a long game. Especially if you're playing it in 2-hour stints like I am. God, this inn is so big in comparison to this village. Like, this thing is like... It's twice the size of any of the other buildings. And there's only 6 buildings. Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 was such a big success that I think it's single-handedly bringing people back to turn-based. Well, not single-handedly. I think Expedition 33's really helped with that as well. But I like that people are starting to realise more that turn-based has its place and that not everything has to be real-time. because I can't really deal with real time very well. It's one of the reasons I haven't played Tyranny, which I've heard great things about. But it's because it's real time. Because the concept of tyranny, the idea of like an overlord is ruling, isn't it? Isn't it? Like, it's huge in comparison. But like an overlord ruling and you're like one of its subordinates that's going to the last place that isn't conquered by it and just trying to conquer it. And he's effectively locked the whole place down and just given you a timer is such a cool idea. And so I always want to give Tyranny a try, but I don't like real time. And it really puts me off games that are real time. Jesus, I haven't played it that much. I've played 2 campaigns. One of them I was predominantly good. One of them I
just want to find her. Surely even you can understand that.
We're decent folk, my lord. Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
and one I was really really good, and one where I was like less good. I gave it a go in the first beta, but then I left it until the full product. I wasn't to that level.
How do you do?
A redhead stands by the fire, turning her lute and plucking its strings. She hums snatches of a melody as she goes. First time at the Drakensgin? Normally I'd have a song ready, but I haven't quite worked out this tune yet. I'm writing some chants about the founding of this inn. Say, you interested in the story? I haven't finished the chants, but I could tell you about it all the same. Yeah, sure, let's have it. It was built at the time of Hardant's rebellion. An Adarian lady, Thainu, once had a keep here. One of the towers still stands, but the rest is said to be buried under the village. Anyway, she stuck to the side of the Empire, and a contingent of Duck Harden's Knights of the Crucible helped the farmers and the colonists in the area turn her keep into rubble. The inn was the first building that sprang up from the ruin, built with some of the same bricks the colonists have pulled from her castle, they say. Supposedly the quarterstaff of the chief wizard even got lost in the construction, mortaring into a wall or nailed under a floor panel. Anyway, the inn was supposed to be a haven and a meeting place while the locals built their new town. What do you mean by supposed to be? Dear Woodians are an ornery lot, and the more these new neighbours met, the more they argued. They realised they didn't agree on much beside ousting the old lord. The biggest divide was over the Glanfarthans and their nearby ruins. Ardent knights and their supporters wanted to keep the peace, but a group of misfits with more anarchic leanings that had formed in the town wanted to go after the tribe the same way they'd gone after the lord. Soon the village were fighting with each other as much as the Adarians. In the end, memories of the Broken Stone War and the War of the Black Tree were fresh enough that the Duck soldiers won the day. Most of the other villages came around eventually, but some of the core troublemakers left to join the front lines of the War of the Defiance, and others, I've heard, found their way into the Guided Compass, the more forward-looking of the Grandfather tribes. I don't know if I believe that part myself, but it makes a good story. There's a portrait of one of the chief rabble-rousers and his rival in the peacekeeping faction. Someone's idea of a joke. I don't think they were particularly amused. I want to hear about the Broken Stone War. That was the first major conflict between the Doran settlers and the Glanfarthans. Happened 3 years into the colonization when some farmers knocked over an Adaran menhir that was part of an Gwithian ruin. The war didn't last long, but it spread quickly and claimed thousands. In the early weeks, most of the colonists didn't even realise there was a war going on until the Glanfarthan raiders hit their villages. There'd be small, spontaneous skirmishes between the colonists and the locals before then, but this was organised, and it was the start of decades of violence between the colonists and the Glanfarthans. As you can see, Deerwood's full of history, even in a little village like this. Tell me about the War of Blacktree. It started back in the colony days, almost 30 years after the Broken Stone War. Even though isolated conflicts still broke out between the settlers and the Glanfarthans, Both sides have officially agreed to peace. Edrang Hardent, Admeth's father, was Gref at the time. As part of the peace negotiations, he signed treaties prohibiting colonists from looting Agrithian ruins. However, he'd be unable to outlaw the use of captured Glanfarthans as slaves. What's a Gref? A Gref is the governor of a colony, and it's subservient to the emperor. The early leaders of the colony in the Deerwood, including Edrang and Admeth, were Grefs. At the start of the War of Defiance, Admeth Hardent declared himself Duke of an independent Deerwood rather than Gref of the Emperor's colony. It was the same term used for the leaders of the newly independent Valian republics. Anyway, we haven't had a Gref since. Indeed, the taking of Glanfarthen Straves has continued to be a source of conflict. It came to head when the Imperial agents, aided by certain earls in the Deerwood, began looting the ruins again. See, the Empire had never actually agreed to Hardent's treaties on the matter, and the recent secession of the Valan republics left them eager to weaken Hardent's position. The looting sparked a brutal slave uprising and a guerrilla campaign among the Glanfarthans. Edwin Hardent was too old to lead forces into battle, and so he sent his son Admeth. Admeth made a costly but effective decision that ended the war faster than any could have imagined. He burned the forest near. I heard about this in a previous thing. To keep the war banding from retreating. Thousands died, and Admeth repeated his scorcher tactic in the following months. He wore down the remaining of their forces. To this day, over 150 years later, there are still sections of the Deerwood where the trees are nothing but bare, scarred trunks. By the way, if you've played so much of BG3, have you played the Divinity games that were made by Larian before this? Because they're good quality as well. They're not bad. Why? It's you! Thank you, my friend. You've given me another chance, and I mean to make the most of it. I've been telling everyone around here how you helped me. Oh, he got away. That's good.
Welcome.
The innkeeper digs... Yeah, they're great, aren't they? I remember I played through those before I heard about Baldur's Gate being made by them, and I instantly was like, oh god, this game, but with a D&D feel? Really? Honestly, give it a shot yourself if you haven't. No, I've never watched Wolfheart before, but cool. The original games, I prefer the second one, but what's interesting about the Divinity games that luckily didn't carry over to BG3 is that the Divinity games have a really good start, and then it sort of drags at the end. Whereas I feel like BG3 kept it being good the whole time. I thought the final boss was a bit easy, but that's beside the point. The innkeeper digs inside a mug with a dirty rag. His eyes under his thick brow are tired but watchful. He gives you a nod as you approach the bar. Don't see many travellers these days. Something I can do for you? What was your exchange with that nobleman about? Folks round here decent. They mind their own business. Yet you want to stick your nose in it? Go talk to him yourself. I have a question about Deerford. Ask. Tell me about the village. Walk from one bridge to the next and you've seen it. We're quiet, hard-working people. We keep to ourselves and we don't take to being pushed around. Used to be a castle here, built by some family of Adorian thanes, back when the Empire first came. Only one tower still stands, and that's part of his shop now. Sid, that bard by the fire, can spin you the yarn if you're so inclined. Who lives in Direford? Not many anymore. Hard to keep people around when everyone here birth and hollow born. But we've got a few who stick around and do business. The leather carrier, Hedenia crafts potions, and Winfith trades in general goods. Wimbold's a pig farmer, or was anyway. What's Hedenia's story? Lady's a clever hand with potions and polters. Got herself into trouble with a nest of worms or so I heard. Her cart's on the east edge of the town. What about Tygil? He's a courier, treats leather, and makes armor and a few other goods with it. Problem is, the smell of tower and deer shit tends to put people off their food, and his shop's right next door. See, I've never heard that word before, courier. I would have assumed that he would be called a tanner. The more you know. And Winfirth? Been around here longer than I have. Nice enough fella, but we can never find his way to an end of a sentence. His shop's across the square. Something happened to Rumble's pigs, I take it? Damn ogre carried them off. Now he's squealing more than his herd ever did. It's rotten luck. You don't... About the ogre. You hardly see him this close to town. Ogre and Kith don't mix well. Ugly bastards, but they're smart enough to know that much. You want to know more? Talk to Rumbold. His farm's southwest of here. You don't see many... You said you don't see many travellers. Course not. Why would they come here? We got bandits on the roads, an ogre in the forest, and a yapping full Rumbold will tell you. Worse yet, we haven't had a healthy child born here in over a year. Most Kith that come here are just passing through. I want to order some drinks. What have you got? Dragon meat? Jesus, that costs more than the upgrades to my fort. What does that give you? No, it makes it rich. A courier works with the leather after the tanning process. Oh, interesting. But surely he is also a tanner, because he talks about having leather sort of drying in the keep. So I'm guessing he's probably goes through the whole process, right? Who's this guy? Oh, he's a person who's a Patreon supporter. Dual classed, yeah, true. Yeah. The man wears a Darwin-style robe, simple but elegant. His fine leather shoes look like they were made for padding around indoors, yet they're caked with mud. He yanks at a lock of hair twirled around his silk-gloven finger. His fine features are etched with anxiety.
My child is out there. Do they not understand?
My lord, we're doing everything we can. Unfortunately, these villagers...
Beasts take them all. I don't care how you do it, but find her.
I heard you were arguing with the innkeeper?
A petty, small-minded man.
I don't like him already.
The rest of them around here. I've been paying him an honest fee for board and bed, and yet he can't be bothered to stir himself to concern for my Alice.
Your child is missing, I take it?
Yes, Lady Alice. My daughter. I've asked around, but nobody in this mud hole has any concerns beyond...
She's taken by the ogre, isn't she?
He turned my men away like beggars and seemed downright pleased to be of no use.
That's why the ogre needs more. Oh, they're doing a
You're not like my
Shrek.
soldiers, and you look like you're used to getting your
I wonder if they're doing a
If
Shrek.
you
They
don't
must be
mind
doing a
saying
Shrek.
so.
My lord, an artist? If you find her, tell her I won't be upset with her. She can come back and all will be well. I just want to make sure my Alice, my child, is safe. Nothing in this world is more important to me. I'd like to ask a few questions about your daughter.
Alice. Of course.
Could you describe her for me? She's a striking young woman, bears more resemblance to her mother than me. She has auburn hair, delicate, well-bred features. She must be, 28 or 29 now. Tell me about her disappearance. We'd stopped in Deerfoot for a few days. On our fourth evening here, I was making plans to continue our journey. Lady Alice was feeling unwell and went to bed. When I retired a couple hours later, I found that she had vanished. None of my men had seen her go, and no one at the inn knew where she was. Since then, my people have been combing the village, but we've yet to find a clue, and the locals have been no help. It's gonna be Shrek, but she's gonna be Fiona. She's gonna have been turned into an ogre, and we're gonna have to find her, and she's been turned into an ogre. I'm calling it. We're not going to find out today because I've got 6 minutes left of the stream, but I am calling it right now. I will clip this, and I will show this when I complete this quest, and she has been turned into an ogre. Why did you and Elise come to Deerfoot? It was merely a stop on the way to Eline's rest. However, she took ill shortly before our arrival, so it seemed prudent to allow her a few days to recover. What's in Eline's rest? Lady Elise has reached age where it is prudent for her to marry. Given this legacy business, I can't let her fertile years slip by, nor do I want her wound to fester in the presence of so many hollowborn. I mean, on one hand, I hate this practice, and it's a horrendous practice that no longer is done in, I think, most of Europe, but it's still, I think, done in some Indian countries and I imagine somewhere else. On the other hand, he said she was 28, which is surprisingly old for these kinds of things. Like most European medieval societies, they were marrying them off at 14. They were marrying them off like, if you were hitting 18 to 20 and you didn't have a husband, there's something wrong. So, on one hand, bad. On the other hand, slightly more progressive than most people. It seems there would be more potential suitors in New Humar or New Yama. You think I haven't considered that? Arranging a suitable match is difficult. The best prospect for my child lay in Enel's rest. Where's the rest of the family? Surely they wouldn't want to miss your daughter's betrothal. Lady Haronde is ill-suited for travel, I'm afraid, and unfortunately Elise has few other close relatives. My sister and her husband, Elise's aunt and uncle, of course, have been visiting Adar these past months, and as for siblings, Elise has none. My wife has only given birth to hollowborns since Elise, that is. I see. Going back to your daughter. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Lord Nestor Harrond of Defiance Bay. My family has been prominent there since Imperial times. Our primary estate is on the outskirts of Brackenbury, but we have holdings in New Haomar as well. Those went to my sister and her husband.
Okay, goodbye. Who's this guy? Oh, he's another Patreon supporter. I'm telling you, she's turned into an ogre. I'm telling you that's what it's going to be. Anyone follow you? Who sent you? The Orlan hovers by the window, peering out for every few seconds. As you enter the room, she watches you carefully, her hand hovering over a stiletto. She cranes her head to peer behind you. Anyone follow you? Who sent you? Someone told me you were responsible for heinous killings in Defiance Bay. Let me guess, was it there someone named Medvith? You're a big shot with the Crucible Knights. If I had gone on some rampage, don't you think you'd have heard about it? I got on the wrong side of his employer, and now he's after me. But if you're able to do his dirty work, I won't make it easy on you. Oh, by the way, Brian, if you don't mind me calling that, a lot of what I like about this game that they do really well is every bit of reputation, both your reputation as being a benevolent person or a diplomatic person or a stoic person, or even your reputation with particular villages or particular factions seems to have a lot more of like a consequence. It's less of that kind of, I picked this faction, so it means I get access to this weapon and this ending to the story, and more like, oh, here's these little extra dialogue bits. People will trust me more or hate me more because of factions. People will know of my reputation. I really like that. Relax. I just want to hear your side of the story. What story? The Menos have come after me. I just happened to rob the wrong person. How was I supposed to know they already claimed it? Yeah, I do as well. I really like it when my decisions matter. I like it when I see the impact I have had on the world. That's such a good feeling. That's why I like D&D so much, because you can see that, because you're part of the making of the world. It was an honest mistake. I'm just trying to survive now, and if you spoke with Medef, you know where he's waiting. Please, help me get out of here. This is a hard problem. The Domels, or the Domeles, are a group that I've come across before, and they were taking out a merchant company, and I didn't help that merchant company, but I didn't help the other people because I had no stick in the game. Oh, I normally stream I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but if we're talking about this game specifically, I do it every Wednesday at this time. It starts 2 hours ago and would end around now. I don't know what country you're in, so I don't know what time it is. It's 7 o'clock in the UK where I stream, but it would be whatever time it is in your country. Um, but if you're talking about Pillars of Eternity, I stream that Wednesdays at this time. On Friday, Monday and Friday. Monday I just play whatever I want. Friday I'm going through Guild Wars. It's 10 a.m. and I didn't realize that was that much big of a difference. I guess it's kind of the other side of the world, I guess. Yeah. I've been first time playing through it. I've been going through I'm only on the base game at the moment. I've been going through the living worlds that comes after the base game, and I've made it my goal to try and 100% the base area, but it's taken a long time. The story I could take or leave at the moment, but the living worlds, the dungeons got better, or like the instance got significantly better, and generally I love the methodology they've gone through, where you can sort of play it however you want. I'm currently playing I'm playing a necromancer, but I have a torch because that's the specialization I took. I'm trying to get enough hero points to get the gun necromancer, but I need to get to 20 hero points for that. But yeah, I played that on Fridays, same time, but on Fridays. Yeah, that is a bit annoying, but they don't do dungeons. After the base game, they get rid of dungeons, and they have this thing called fractals, which are effectively dungeons. But I do think they need a dungeon finder. I do agree. I would love for it to have the FF14 thing, where you can have NPCs be NPCs be your like companions for it, so that I don't need other people. Because I'll be honest, I'm mostly playing it. I'm mostly playing it as a solo RPG with online elements. I'm not really playing it as a group with other people in a guild. But yeah, I have had the base game, and I bought the first 3 DLCs, and I'm gonna see if I like it then. And if I still like it by the end of the third DLC, I'll probably buy the next, I guess 3, because I think a new one just came out. Go east. Medved's waiting for you just west of the river. Alright, I'm trusting you. Don't have much choice. See if you can send him the other way. That should buy me some time. She follows the hooded figures towards the stairs, giving you a final uncertain glance as she passes through the door. Let's give this a save. Right, we've hit the 2 hour mark. Yeah. I'm waiting for another sale for that, if I'm still liking it. We've hit the 2 hour mark, so I will have to call it here. I've had a great time talking with you. If you ever want to come to the Friday stream, it's same time as this one, but on Friday, so it would, I guess, be Saturday for you. And you can watch me play some Guild Wars. It's really fun to play through that. This has been really fun. I hope everyone has a good couple of days. Gonna have to love you and leave you. Bye. Bye. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I didn't say it before, but thank you for the follow. I really appreciated it. Cool. See